In 2012, a man in Oregon was sentenced to 30 days in jail. Not for theft, not for assault, for collecting rainwater on his own property, rain that fell from the sky onto land he owned. And before this video is over, I am going to show you exactly why that happened, and the $12 setup that makes sure it never happens to you. Stay with me because there is one thing about this bill that most people get completely wrong. And if you get it wrong, the whole system fails. I will show you what it is at the end. Gary Harrington, Eagle Point, Oregon. He built 3 reservoirs on his property to collect rainwater and snowmelt, used it to fight wildfires on his own land, irrigate his property, live independently from municipal systems. The state of Oregon said that water belonged to them, not to the rain, not to Gary, to the government. Because under Oregon water law at the time, any water that fell on your land was considered part of a public waterway, and collecting it without a permit was illegal. He was convicted on 9 misdemeanor counts, 30 days in jail, $115,000 in fines. Now here's what they did not tell you about that case. Oregon changed its law in 2017. Today, Gary could collect up to 55,000 gallons on his property completely legally. The law that put him in jail does not exist anymore. And in 49 other states, right now today, collecting rainwater is completely legal with 0 restrictions. But the story of Gary Harrington scared millions of Americans away from something that could eliminate their water bill entirely. And that fear still exists, which is exactly why you are watching this video instead of already having this system built. Here is what nobody is telling you. Your roof is a water collection system that is already built, already installed, already paid for. Every time it rains, and it rains everywhere, hundreds of gallons of clean water fall on that roof, run through your gutters, pour down your downspout, and disappear into the storm drain. The average American home has 1,500 square feet of roof. Every inch of rainfall on 1,000 square feet produces 600 gallons of water. Run that math with your own roof and your own local rainfall, and the number you get is how many free gallons you have been sending to the city every year while paying $800 to $1,200 for water from a pipe. And here is the part that should make you angry. Your great-grandparents knew this. They built cisterns before they built foundations, because without water storage, nothing else mattered. That knowledge was not lost. It was replaced by infrastructure that charges you monthly for something that falls from the sky for free. The $12 setup gets it back. Here is everything you need: a 55-gallon food-grade barrel, used ones at farm supply stores or restaurant distributors, $5 to $10, sometimes free if you ask the right places. A first flush diverter. This is the piece that makes the system work properly. It catches the first 2 to 3 gallons of each rain event, the dirty water that washes debris off your roof, and diverts it away before sending clean water into your barrel. $8 to $12 at any garden center. A spigot for the bottom of the barrel. $1.50. Fine mesh screen to cover the opening. $1. A flexible downspout extension. $2. Total $12. Available at any hardware store in America. 1 afternoon to install. Position your barrel directly under an existing downspout. Elevate it on cinder blocks or a simple wooden platform. Even 8 inches of height lets you fill a watering can underneath the spigot without fighting gravity. Drill 1 hole near the bottom sized for your spigot. Thread it in. Seal around it with waterproof silicone. Let it cure completely before adding water. Install the first flush diverter on the downspout above the barrel. 15 minutes on any standard downspout. This piece is not optional. Without it, the first rain washes bird droppings, dust, and roof debris directly into your storage. So with it, that dirty first flush goes into a small chamber that fills and diverts. Everything after that is cleaner water going into your barrel. Cut the downspout above the diverter and redirect the lower section into the barrel opening using your flexible extension piece. Cover the opening with mesh screen and secure it tightly. Mosquitoes breed in standing water. The screen is not negotiable. Add an overflow port near the top of the barrel. A short section of hose that directs excess water away from your foundation when the barrel fills. This is the piece most people skip. It is also the piece that causes foundation damage when they skip it. That is the complete installation. Now, the one thing I said I would tell you at the end. The mistake that makes this system fail: most people install the barrel flat on the ground. No elevation. No platform, then they go to use it and realize the spigot is 2 inches off the ground and they cannot get anything under it. So they tip the barrel falls, the connection breaks, the whole thing leaks. Elevate the barrel before you install anything. Minimum 8 inches, 12 is better. Cinder blocks work. Pressure-treated lumber works. A simple platform from scrap wood works. Whatever you use, build it level and build it stable before the barrel goes on top. That one detail is the difference between a system that works for 30 years and a frustrating afternoon that ends with a wet yard and a barrel in your garage. Collected rainwater is cleaner than most people expect. It has not touched the ground, has not run through soil or pipes, skips most of what makes surface water complicated. Bacteria, agricultural runoff, sediment, but it picks up particulates from your roof over time and trace pollutants if you live near traffic or industry for garden irrigation, washing vehicles, flushing toilets, straight from the barrel with the first flush diverter installed. No treatment needed. For drinking and cooking, $3 filter, plastic bottle with the bottom cut off, inverted, layered with cotton, activated charcoal from any aquarium store, fine sand, cotton again. Pour collected water through the top. What comes out the bottom is filtered and clean. Add 1 drop of plain unscented household bleach per gallon. Wait 30 minutes, cleaner than most tap water in the country. 1 barrel, 55 gallons. That covers outdoor watering for most households for several days after a moderate rain. 2 barrels connected in series, 110 gallons. Enough for a family's non-drinking water needs for a week. 6 barrels. The setup Gerald had on his farm in Kentucky, 330 gallons. 1 moderate rainstorm fills the entire system. He has not paid for outdoor water in 6 years. The average American water bill, $800 to $1,200 a year. Over 25 years of home ownership, $20,000 to $30,000 for water that falls on your roof for free. $12. One afternoon, and that math starts changing immediately. Gary Harrington went to jail in Oregon in 2012 for collecting water that fell on his own land. Oregon changed the law 5 years later. 49 states never had that law to begin with. The fear that case created is still keeping people from building something that takes 1 afternoon and costs $12. That fear is worth billions of dollars a year to the municipal water industry, which is exactly why nobody corrected it. Now you know the actual law. Now you know the actual build. Now you have no reason not to start this weekend if this is the kind of thing that matters to you. Hit subscribe right now, because next week Earl is going to show you something that takes this further. The complete $0 water bill system, every piece connected, that takes this barrel and turns it into something that can replace your water bill entirely. That one is coming. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Take care. See you in the next one.